I'm Matt Hanna.
And this is Horror Hour with the Hannas.
Where we're going to talk about Evil Dead Burn.
I'm excited for this one because this is the first ever Evil Dead movie that I saw in theaters.
Me too.
Yay!
Yeah, that's not that surprising,
But
though.
you'd seen all of them.
I had seen all of them prior to this. Yes, this is the first one you ever saw in theaters. Unless you count Lee Cronin's The Mummy.
Some say we should count that.
It would be my least favorite if that were the case. No, I don't think we should include it. It would be a bad Evil Dead movie.
Evil Dead Albuquerque, as we named that episode.
Yes.
No, I mean, I think it's very clear from that movie that he would have preferred to have just made an Evil Dead movie, but I'm really excited that he made that instead, and then we got what we got here, which might actually be a hot take, but I don't care.
I agree with you. So, but we'll get into that. You got some background for us?
Yeah, of course, I have some background. So first, this film is directed and co-written by Sebastian Vanacek, and the other writer is Florent Bernard. Sebastian Vanacek is a French filmmaker. He had only made one other film before this called Invested, and that was, I believe, picked up by Shudder.
Okay, and I've heard good things about that. Never seen, though.
I watched part of it. I was in a really bad mood, so I stopped pretty much right when it was getting into the good stuff.
Okay.
So my bad. But spiders don't really scare me, so I think if spiders scared me, it would probably
do
spiders,
more
for me.
I like spiders, to be honest. Unless they start moving real scary.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't necessarily want one in my home, but, like, they don't freak me out the way they clearly freak out other people. I just don't have that gene in me to, like, freak the fuck out. Like, I am the spider killer.
You get the bird rat gene. I don't kill any spiders. I like spiders. I try to get...
No, I'm saying, like, if someone else asked me to kill the spider, I would kill the spider.
Yeah.
Like, I am the designated spider killer.
Heartless.
I'm not heartless. I'm just that bitch.
I know, you're scared of birds and mice instead.
What's that say about me?
It's just genetics, I think. Or, you know.
I mean, I think it is evolutionarily.
Yeah.
I think that's where that comes from. So I actually don't find myself all that... I mean, it's embarrassing, but, like, it could be worse. Because, you know, there's a reason evolutionarily why I'm afraid of those things. It's not like I'm afraid of, like, a cow.
Let's talk about this movie. You should be afraid of cows and hippos. Anyway, let's talk about this
movie. How many people
We're so
do you
off
think
topic.
Cows kill?
A lot. More than spiders. More than rats.
Spiders more than rats.
No, maybe not more than spiders, because there are more than...
Definitely... More than, I would guess, poisonous spiders.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. More than mice.
Many deaths
we're going to Google this. Do cows
cause a year?
Anyone who's...
20 to 22 people every year in the United States.
All right.
How many deaths do spiders cause a year? Fewer than 10.
Fewer than 10! I was right.
And how many deaths
This is also Google Gemini, so...
Yep, that's true. What was the other? Rats.
Mice. No, just say mice.
Mice. Rodents.
That's...
What? Globally, rodents are responsible for tens of thousands of deaths annually. What?
Because of their vectors for disease.
That's why evolutionarily it makes sense that I'm scared of them.
Fine.
That's the most rational of all of them.
Yeah.
How many deaths do birds cause a year?
Fewer than 10.
Yeah, okay, so it turns out I'm still a really silly go. Would that be counted under birds, you think? Or should I look it up too?
No, stop. All right, let's talk about this movie. I'm trying to...
Okay.
We're 4 minutes in. Time to talk about it.
Okay, and I like this movie too. It's starring Suhela Jacob. Yeah, she's French, so my apologies.
And she's awesome.
I tried to say it as confidently as possible. And
confidence is key.
Can you guess what horror movie that you really like that she's in?
Climax.
Hell yeah, she's in
That's such
Climax.
a good guess. I don't even remember who she is in Climax.
She's one of the top billed actors in it.
She's not the lead, though, right?
She's not the lead, but I think she's like the third highest
what
billed.
her... Oh, God, I love that movie.
I'm excited because we're watching it like a month from today. So, yeah, for a friend's birthday party, which is...
We're going to be rewatching. We have a party themed to Climax.
Again, insane behavior, but I'm excited for it nonetheless. So, back of the box description for Evil Dead Burn. After the loss of her husband, a woman seeks solace with her in-laws, according to this plot description. As one by one they transform into Deadites, she comes to discover that the vows she took in life survive even in death. I don't think she seeks solace with her in-laws.
I think she's kind of forced into it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Also, it's just funny because every movie is just like people get turned into Deadites one by one, except for Army of Darkness.
I mean, some people still get turned into Deadites there. Yeah, fun fact about me, I watched Army of Darkness for the first time yesterday.
Yes, we did. And it was a lot of fun.
I have a lot of feelings about that you'll learn in my ranking, which is going to be the most insane part of this episode. Stick around if you want to hear me go absolutely bananas.
I think your ranking's fine.
I think it's going to be
But if we want to keep people in here, then...
I think it's going to be unpopular.
It's the worst ranking of all time.
I'm kind of excited to see if I get made fun of. Or if people are like, valid, but I don't think that'll be the case. Okay, so Sam Raimi is the one who, picks the directors for these films. So he picked Sebastian Vanecek after being impressed by his directorial debut, Infested, of course. And so, before this, he had pulled Lee Cronin for Rise. And he had pulled Fede Alvarez for Evil Dead 2013, and that was Fede's directorial debut, which is crazy. French electronic and film score duo called Double Danger did the musical score for this film, and they also worked on Infested with Sebastian Vanecek.
Oh, very cool. Neat that he was able to kind of bring in people that he wants to work with. You never know when this movie, because this is almost like a studio film at this point.
That's the thing,
how much the directors get say.
Exactly. It is a very interesting question.
And all of the directors write the movie as well?
I already went through that. Sorry. He wrote it, as did Lee Cronin writing Rise, and Fede Alvarez wrote 2013, but he
and then had Diablo Cody come in.
And a little bit.
Yeah. Which was also a great pickup for that movie to have Diablo Cody join.
It was. I agree. So, but I mean, she was really just there to punch up the dialogue and make sure it sounded like American.
Still, she just felt right for what that movie's doing.
It does feel right. So, Sebastian Vanecek in interviews has mentioned two things that I find really interesting. Like in Obsession, another big film from this year, bigger, he was forced to trim a brutally graphic scene.
Oh, yes, and it was head smashing.
It was also head smashing, which I looked at Matt during the movie and was like, ayo.
Head smashing's in right now. I can name 4 movies that in the past 10 years. Barbarian.
Wow, in 10 years. Wow, that's so crazy.
5 years.
I can name 2 this year.
Yeah, I'm said 4.
In 5 years. I said 2 in 1 year.
Yeah, that's fine, but I'm just saying it's big. Obviously, you have Obsession in this. Then you also have Weapons, and then you also have Barbarian.
Yeah.
And kind of the Batman.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sure I could think of more, but I'm just saying those are big ones and Groove. The best one, actually, take the absolute best head smashing I have seen in a movie is Barbarian.
I love that one a lot.
That one is unbelievable. That one is pants-shittingly scary in the moment it happens.
It just comes out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah. Well, no, it comes out of,
it does come out of
something
nowhere.
bad happening is coming. It's just not, you don't expect naked mommy to smash a dude's head in.
Smashing feels so out of nowhere compared to this where you're
there's a lot of tension is what I mean, though, before.
Yeah, yes, okay, fair enough. So he said that they had to cut it down a lot to get the R rating instead of NC-17. And he described the deleted footage as a really, really hard scene to watch. He said the scene was way longer than that. I had more close-ups, and it was even more intense than that, but nobody will notice because the scene is pretty horrible in the movie right now.
Yeah, I don't think it's... I think we always kind of say less is more, and I think especially with head smashing, less is more. I think Weapons is another really good example because you're seeing the person doing the smashing's head.
I loved it, yeah. And getting
getting squelching noises, and I think that does more. And getting
repeatedly more blood splatter.
And I think Barbarians work so well because there's so much tension leading up to it that when it finally happens, it's very dark and you're so shook by what is this woman that's come out of the darkness. And then I would say in Obsession, all 3 of these work for different reasons. Obsessions is just pants-shittingly good jump scare with just amazing sound effects and reaction. So you do get a little too much view in Obsession, but I think everything else works around it, where I'll say the weakest of the 4 is this because I hardly remember it because I feel like there's not a lot of
it very,
I feel like there's not a lot of build up to it.
Build up, no, but they do a lot with it because it doesn't just remain like a Bastion face. They're playing around with that Bastion face.
That's true. That part gets good. But I do think the whole showing doesn't always work in this situation where, kind of leaving our minds to make up what we're seeing works better sometimes.
Yes.
I gave 3 examples of different ways to do it. But,
okay.
Yeah.
He also said that the post-credit scene for this movie, which we will spoil later, not right now, because we don't want spoilers until we say so. He said the post-credit scene, because there's 2, was a demand from production.
Oh, I feel more icky about it now.
And he says he didn't know what they wanted to do with it and what they're doing with it in the future.
That's stupid.
And he says, I don't know what's in the other movie and if it will be there or not.
The MCUification of the Evil Dead franchise.
Yep. But I do think that's a natural consequence of not having these, like, written together or by the same person.
Thank you, J.J. Abrams, for setting up this precedent of just not thinking a story through before writing it.
But I
Great work, buddy.
Also
hate that guy.
say that, like, Sam Raimi should be better than that, too.
In my
opinion.
I like Sam Raimi a lot. I don't really trust him at this age because I haven't really particularly liked things that he's worked on recently. And he's not a studio man. And that's a good thing about him.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's okay. But it's like, I don't know. That sounds so mean. But some of the stuff he's done, I feel like, even like Send Help, I didn't like that much, is coming across as a little lazy to me. And I think his lack of involvement, or at least what feels like lack of involvement in this franchise, even though he's sort of involved, feels a little lazy to me. But
I mean, he's certainly involved.
I just don't know
to what extent, I guess. And I think the franchise would be better off if there were probably more direction from him indicating, like, here are how these movies need to be connected, or, like, here's who we're pulling for the next one. So, like, there needs to be a smooth thread here. So, like...
Well, it sounds like the studio's too involved, which makes more sense considering how I feel about the franchise at this moment. Even though I think the franchise has still remained solid through all 6 movies. Mm-hmm. I think that, and we'll get to that a little bit, because you know how much I like 2013, but it feels like they're trying to recreate the spark of 2013, and I don't think either movies following it have been able to.
I agree.
And 2013 feels the least... this is hard to say. It's not the least Raimi-esque, because there's amazing Raimi moments, but it feels like it's supposed to be really distant, so when they give us the very Raimi moments and the very Evil Dead moments, they hit so much harder, is my thought. You know what I mean?
I do feel like...
I know you like 2013, so...
That is very different than all of the rest of them. Mm-hmm. And I do think what's really interesting about, like, the first 3 is obviously it's the same director, same lead. And so, like, the plots go together, or at least if you want to consider 2 and 3, because 2 kind of being a sort of remake sequel to the first one. 2 and 3... all 3 are doing something completely different stylistically, versus the difference here is that it's not following the same character through all of them, but they're stylistically the same.
Yes.
And I don't know...
You're stealing my thunder, but I know you agree with me. You and I have had this conversation a lot, and I'm sure you had it independently of me, so...
Well, yeah, and I do think that is what is, like, making people disappointed in Burn, because it's not...
it's the same reason I didn't love Rise, is I feel that both of them, Rise and Burn, while are interesting, are not separating themselves enough from 2013 and not surpassing 2013 in any way. Mm-hmm. And we said that on our Rise episode. And because of that, my inclination as a writer or director would be to take things in another new direction. Mm-hmm. Similar to what Rian Johnson did with Star Wars and why he made one of the best Star Wars movies. And then they... retracted all that.
Yup.
You have to take it in a new direction that allows it to remain fresh, and I don't think the last 2 entries have done that at all. Hell, Rian Johnson saved Star Wars, and then J.J. Abrams came back and immediately destroyed it, and now it'll never be successful. I mean, it's really not successful anymore, in my opinion, so they can't even make movies.
I mean, movies,
and had we gone on the Rian Johnson track, which we should have, I think they would still be making a Star Wars movie every 4 or 5 years. Or 3 years, maybe. But yeah, that's a whole other story.
It's really hard to say, and it's a totally different story. And
I know.
Also,
I'm just saying the same thing
with... Allegedly.
I still
Not
think...
in this house.
I think with this franchise, We'll get to it. I just think like I wish it would take more leaps outside in these next movies, and it feels very franchised. It's like we need to give the people what they liked in 2013, so just try to, and they just have certain beats. The thing
is I think 2013 really was out of the box, and then for the franchise, and then people loved it so much.
And I love it. So.
And I think Burn captures more of what I liked in 2013 than Rise did. So
you and I are on the same page about that too. We're so in sync.
Yeah. Okay, last fun fact. Obviously, all of his movies have to have a Bruce Campbell cameo. And a picture of Bruce Campbell is along the family portraits going up the stairs.
I saw that.
I didn't. But fun fact, it was there. Okay, so, I mean, we've already kind of put some of our thoughts out there on this movie. But, like, let's simplify it here. Matt, did you like the movie? Why or why not?
I think
Spoiler
it
free.
is. I like it. I don't love it. I think it is very fine. I like fine is where I am. It's not one that I'm going to care to watch again. And for the reasons I said before, is I just, there are moments that make me think I'm going to get a better movie. And then I feel like it just goes the fine route. And feels like very familiar in an uninteresting way. And those moments are like the intro. The intro to this one, I'm like, you know what? I'm in. I see what this is doing. And I felt the same way about Rise until I didn't. So what about you?
I liked this. I had a lot of fun with it. I think it is very flawed, but I was having a really good time with it.
I think fun is the right word because I definitely was having fun.
And it feels fucked up to say I was having fun because this movie is like fucked up. This movie is mean.
I think that's part of the magic of this franchise, though, is like obviously 1, 2, and 3 are fun. We recently watched all of 1, 2, and 3 like within the past 2 weeks, and I'm having a blast, even with the first one.
I feel like this recent, I guess, trilogy of them, what I think is really interesting is I feel like it's the kind of like fun mean that people who talk about Terrifier seem to
You're
enjoy
right.
from
This is just a better Terrifier franchise.
But this is like actual fun fucked up versus Terrifier is just like fucked up.
Well, even like 2013 is the most, I think, meanest and gruesome of this.
So mean.
Yet, I find 2013 to be a blast to watch. I mean, it's gross. It makes me feel icky, but I like how it is so fun because what's her name's performance? The girl that plays Mia. I can't think of her name. Jane Levy. Phenomenal.
Good.
So good. And I just really enjoy the characters of it. I love the cabin setting. And I love, we've talked about in our episode on it, the thematic portion of it being about like drug addiction.
Yes, I love that.
I think it's great. And then also this withholds a lot of Raimi-isms until it doesn't. And then when they hit, they're so fun. And I would say like examples being the angry molesting trees coming back, and it's horrific.
And it's fun.
It's more horrific than his original, which is kind of cool.
It's the most messed up version of the angry molesting tree of all movies.
When they wait for any like flare of camera work until the guy goes to like make the thing to restart her heart. And it does all like the zooms and stuff with him using the tools, which is from the originals. And I love that. And then obviously Blood Rain Chainsaw. Amazing. And I'm like, I'm having the best time of my life. Which I also say that about a movie like Midsummer, where it's like really fucked up, but I'm having a fun time. That's what I want out of these movies.
Those are very different stylistically.
I know, yet I have fun with
yet
a very fucked up
fun.
thing. So either way, my point was, I feel like that's a big part of this franchise is like being scared to look at the camera and also having fun. I guess Saw is kind of like that too.
Yeah, I think Saw is comparable, although I don't really want to look at Saw versus this.
Man,
like I can actually look at.
You know I love the Saw franchise unabashedly.
I need to
all
like
of them.
rewatch.
We should. We could do that. Just as an aside, everyone can listen and tell us they want. Since our Twin Peaks show is doing very well, I feel like people want to do like watch alongs. So what if we did some kind of like rewatch along of the entire Saw franchise, all 10 movies? And
Jesus.
But it would be fun.
It would be so
We don't have to do
silly.
like a full hour episode like we do here. We could do more like vibe checks and the detective style stuff that we do in Twin Peaks.
That would be silly.
And like plot, vibe checks and things. Yeah. Who I trust with my coffee.
Oh my god, none of them. Okay. So this movie, I think this movie has a fucking awesome intro, and I know that people really love the intro to Evil Dead Rise, but I thought this one was better.
I also think Burn is better than Rise, but you and I both...
I said intro.
Oh, agreed with that too.
I think like the title card of Rise is really sick, and I love the sound design there, and she's like floating above the water, and like, yeah, that's awesome. But I think in this one, the entire scene is really good. The entire scene is really like tense and uncomfortable and gross.
It's also like 15 minutes.
And long, and I really loved all of that, frankly. And it's like choppy.
Oh, and I thought the whole movie was going to be edited that way.
And it's not.
It's like going for
sometimes.
most editing award in a way that works. Usually most editing, and I make that joke because the thing that wins the Oscar is always the most edited, not the best
Bohemian
editing.
Rhapsody, cough, cough.
Mm-hmm. Evil movie. More evil than an Evil Dead movie.
Yeah, one of the most.
Anyway, sorry. The way it was so choppy, I was like, this is electric. Like, I am like, it's giving me anxiety. I think this works, and I would never think choppy editing is good, but I found a reason where the time it does work. Yeah. So, yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome.
Also, the kills in this were foul.
I think that, well, the next thing I was going to say is that this has some fucking gross ass shit. This has some crazy ass, gross ass violence. That
the whole movie or just the intro?
The whole movie.
Oh, okay, I was going to say the intro has maybe one of the grossest, in my opinion.
Which one?
A guy boiling.
Oh, the boiling. He doesn't even necessarily die from the boiling.
No,
he's dying from a lot of things. But yes,
but she
boiling.
steps on his hand and it falls off like he's been cooked.
Yeah, it's
and the bone. So and I was like, I keep thinking about that one after. That's not a spoiler. It happens in the intro.
There's just so many that are fucking disgusting. The dishwasher is in the trailer, so I don't feel bad, saying that.
It's a good one.
That one scares me because it feels so real to me. Like if I tripped into my dishwasher.
I also
I could totally
enjoy
do.
the psychosexual elements of that. As I've said, I think this series does a really good job of that. Mm-hmm. And that was one of the most blatant ones. And I was like, ooh, mark me down as scared and horny.
Yeah, I knew where you were going.
Wait, I've been saying that for years. And I was like, this is a thing. This is a thing. And I figured it out. It was like a Bill Hader quote from an SNL sketch. So if anyone knows when I say that, that's what it's from.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize.
I also just think that all the technical stuff outside of the CGI, which is bad, is really cool. I think I like the way it's edited. Usually is in Evil Dead movies. I think that there's like this action scene oneer that's awesome. So it already has to have good choreography to like pull off a oneer, but then the oneer itself is really cool. I love how it, follows the action kind of in the background of what our character's doing. I think the sound design is super cool and French. I liked all the Frenchness of it. And I think where this movie falters at points is 1, the CGI is bad. And 2, I just think that like there are things I would have fixed with the story that I think could have made this like not a perfect movie, but like closer.
Agreed. The narrative has like weaker points, at least compared to 2013. I think stronger than Rise still.
I fully think stronger than Rise. I was going to ask you if you felt like you connected to the characters more in this one than Rise.
Yes, I did.
Me too. Because I've heard people say that they don't feel as connected to her as they want to. And we'll talk about that in spoilers because I feel like we really have to like talk about things that aren't in the marketing
of course.
To talk about her.
I would agree that I think the narrative is and the CGI are things that like kind of hold it back. And then the same things we said before is that I kind of just want one of these movies to take a swing. I really hope Wrath does.
Well, Wrath is a prequel to every Evil Dead, so
which is cool. But if it's like
it could be a bigger
at this
swing.
point, if it's another like cabin or house or something where people get turned to Deadites one by one, I just don't. It works really well in 1, 2, and 2013 because they're all doing very different things. But I mean, even Sam Raimi knew by the third movie, actually by the second movie, because he wanted Army of Darkness to be the sequel. And the studio said, I wanted to be more like the original, which is why he went so insane with it, I think.
Yeah.
But that's why it's so different is because he knew you can't just keep doing the same thing. So,
are you familiar with the movie The Last Stop in Yuma County?
No.
Okay, I've never seen it. I've always heard it was good. But the director of that is the one that's directing Wrath. It's Francis Galuppi, and he's only made one movie, The Last Stop in Yuma County.
Okay.
which isn't even a horror movie. So I
just need this movie to be like stylistically
it's
different.
It's a one location film.
Okay.
So we'll see how that comes into play in this one.
Okay.
Yeah. So I am intrigued.
Yeah.
But we'll see how different it manages
that's
to be.
for sure.
Yeah.
Again, that's just what I'm looking for is something. And, you know, I'm always that person that's like, give me something, take a swing and everyone else hates it or is like middle on it and I love it. Mm-hmm. So you know that's what I want. I want swings. I'm the contrarian.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be.
You are.
I just like big swings.
Valid. So we had a lot
I like creative choices. You do too. You're a David Lynch fan. Okay. Every movie he makes is a swing.
That's so true.
And they all hit. They'll connect and blast it out of the park into the Allegheny River.
Whoa.
You can tell I'm a Pirates fan.
Who here knows what Matt's talking about? Yeah. If you know, you know. Drop a comment. Okay. I asked as one of our socials prompts to share for this episode what your Evil Dead movie ranking is, but I think I'm going to share everyone's answers in the spoiler section before we do our rankings.
Okay.
That feels fun. So I'm sorry, guys. Your answers will be read later than normal today. But I think we should move into the spoiler zone we can actually like gab for real
Yeah,
here.
let's go spoiler zone starting now.
Now we're entering the spoiler zone. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the spoiler zone. After this point, you're going to hear some things that you might not want to hear.
Okay. So
let's talk about this.
Do you want to go first for your 15-second summary, or do you want me to?
You go first. I'll pull the timer up.
Okay.
Are you ready? Mm-hmm. Go.
Abusive man also happens to have abusive family, and abusive man abuses his wife, and so she has mixed feelings when he dies and doesn't really know how to process things, and the family sucks and have no empathy for her, and then they turn into
15.
I panicked.
All right, you ready for mine?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait, I have a better one.
Okay, go ahead. 3, 2, 1, go.
Abusive family was evil the whole time, so it makes sense that they'd be Deadites anyway.
Meh.
I know it was bad, but it was where I was going to finish up, and I didn't get there because I'm slow and panicky.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
A bunch of people in a house slowly turn into Deadites until one is left, and then kills the last Deadite with a power tool.
Wow.
Which Evil Dead movie am I talking about?
All of them you've described.
Which Evil Dead movie am I talking about? I don't know.
It could be any of them.
All right, full plot description?
Yeah.
All right, spoilers for everyone in the TikTok live chat. So at his family's lake house, Joseph Price uncovers the Kundarian dagger. His discovery attracts Deadite Jessica, who is in the Evil Dead Rise, who murders a pair of fishermen before making her way towards Joseph. Joseph's brother, Will, gets into a fight with his wife, Alice, and drunkenly drives away, crashing into Jessica because she jumps on the road. As Will burns to death in the car wreck, Jessica passes the Deadite possession to Will. Sometime later, Alice, Joseph, his girlfriend Thea, and his parents, Susan and Edgar, and grandmother Polly reunite for Will's cremation. Alice struggles to bond with Susan and Edgar, who blame her for the crash. After the service, Edgar privately visits Will's coffin before he is cremated. Will's Deadite corpse breaks out of the coffin, burns Edgar, and kills the cremator. The family return to the lake house, where Edgar slowly succumbs to possession. During a tense dinner, Edgar stabs the family dog Max to death and collapses. Joseph and Thea attempt to drive him to the hospital, but he crashes the car and murders Thea while Joseph flees. At the house, she is attacked by a possessed Max. Oh, I don't know who she was. Oh, I know, my bad. At the house, she, being Alice, is attacked by a possessed Max. Joseph arrives at the house when Thea suddenly appears, now also a Deadite. The family lock her in the basement and try to flee, but are forced to retreat when Edgar and Max confront them. When the others barricade the house, Thea tricks Polly into letting her out. Thea brutally attacks the entire family, trying to track down the dagger. Joseph manages to kill Thea. Polly, possessed by a Deadite after her encounter with Thea, manipulates a traumatized Susan into letting Deadite Edgar inside. Susan kisses Edgar and begins to succumb to Deadite possession while trying to convince Joseph to divulge the location of the dagger. Edgar attacks the family, breaking a promise he made to Susan to leave Joseph alone. Alice hides during the chaos and has flashbacks to being abused by Will during their marriage. She arms herself with a rotary saw and finds Susan before being ambushed by Polly. Joseph succumbs to his wounds at the hands of Edgar and dies while Alice and Susan flee to the bathroom. Alice ties Susan up and confronts her about Will's abusive past. Susan admits her hatred of Alice and becomes fully possessed. Alice fends off her her off and escapes to the attic. Finding the Kandarian dagger, Deadite Joseph attacks her, but she manages to kill him with the dagger, releasing his body from possession. Alice flees to the roof, pursued by Susan and Edgar, but drops the dagger. Climbing back into the house via the chimney, she manages to decapitate Susan and fatally wound Edgar with the saw before setting the house on fire. Alice kills Max with the dagger before collapsing. Will then arrives at the burning house and pursues Alice to a building site. He's all burned up and weird looking. After a lengthy struggle,
CGI'd.
Alice manages to trap Will in a pit filled with tar and kill him with the jackhammer and the dagger. Paramedics arrive as the sun rises and rescue Alice. When a paramedic asks what caused her injuries, Alice says it was her ex-husband. In the mid-credit scene, a still-possessed Polly is revealed to have escaped the house and found by a motorist crawling away. Polly scratches the motorist's legs, passing on the Deadite possession. And then in a post-credit scene, which we did not get to see because our version of it just cut the second it started, and I'm still angry about it.
Sucked.
The daughter of the crematorium's manager finds Ellie Bixler, the mother from Rise.
Mommy's back
And finds her unclaimed ashes before Deadite Ellie comes out of a mirror and snaps the child's neck, killing her.
Hell yeah.
She dies from a snapped neck. And then she says, Mommy's back. The movie's over. It's kind of silly.
It's so silly.
Holy hell. That was an impossible one to read again.
Yeah.
I made a mistake in my writing the plot description. And I kept a pronoun in. Damn pronouns. Maybe the right-wing grifters are right.
Shut your horn
No
mouth.
pronouns.
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
It's a joke. That's a funny joke.
It's not.
Proper names only.
No. Okay.
My pronouns
so,
are proud American.
Shut the fuck up. You're not that. Oh my god.
Have you ever seen those memes where it's like Charlie Kirk's pronouns where were? You like that one?
Shut up. Okay. So I like how this movie hates men.
Whoa. Yeah, like The Bride. Just kidding. The Bride.
All the men in this movie suck so much shit in different ways, and I think that's
It hates
beautiful.
abusers.
It really hates abusers. So I do want to kind of touch on that first.
I would just say that men tend to be physical abusers more than women, which is what this movie is making a point of.
But, like, even the non-physically abusive one also
I'm kind of
sucks.
just fucking around. I'm saying not all men. It's fine. Yes, this movie hates men.
This movie
If you're
really
a man,
says...
this movie's not for you.
This movie actually does say all men. So, except for, like, the construction workers, I guess. Do you think that they set up the abuse narrative well?
Yes, I do actually think.
So, do you feel like we learned enough about him or them as a couple?
100%, yes.
Okay, because I feel like a lot of people on the internet are saying, like, they struggled to, like, buy in because they didn't feel like enough of their relationship was, like, laid out.
I think that's so interesting considering all of the signs being there to me immediately upon his first interaction with her at the bar. Like, they're kind of keeping it a little discreet, but then once he drives off like that, I was like, oh no, this is a bad guy. Like, you can tell that he's, like, emotionally manipulating her, and it's not surprising that he's doing more than that. So what I would say to those people is, like, maybe you need to see the signs better, but I also find it kind of rich coming from people who say, not like a believe all women type of thing, but, like, people that are like, yeah, abusers are out there and we need to be, like, allies to, like, look at this and be like, I don't think I saw enough. It's like, do you need to see him, like, physically beating her for this to be... Like, do you need to see him physically beating her for you to believe it? You know what I mean? That's kind of what it feels like.
Interesting. Because for me...
Not to call out anybody that feels that way. I'd feel bad if I'm calling out, like, friends. But I would say you should... The signs are there. You have to be able to read the signs. You're not... Usually this shit's happening behind closed doors. It's very real to real life. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I think for me, I found that I pretty much, like, immediately in the club was like, oh, he has, like, he's a bitch. And then outside, it very quickly is like, oh, he's not just, like, in a bad mood and kind of a dick. Like,
yes.
He's abusive because he's literally, like, telling her what she can and can't do with her body. And then he's, like, kind of pushing her and raising his voice and then threatening to drive drunk and leave her there and, like, leave her and all that shit. So I feel like there are some pretty clear signs right there. So I kind of find it surprising that people...
He reminds me of someone we know in real life, especially
I
with
was
buying the really expensive
wondering-
gift for somebody.
I was wondering if that is why I saw it
Oh, I
so
wonder if
clearly,
that's the case as well, because
I couldn't stop thinking about that person, and I was going to talk about them in themes without naming names.
I won't. That's funny. You and I both saw it. I actually didn't think about it till right now.
No, I already wrote
and
it.
And it was something about the expensive gift also.
I already wrote it in my notes.
Yeah, wow. That's insane.
Yeah.
Someone we're not friends with anymore. So
because of this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I felt like I saw it, but again, I don't know if it's because I've been like so intimately close to seeing that kind of relationship in like people that I'm close to.
Big yikes.
So I don't know.
That's crazy that I just thought of that now. I didn't even look at your note.
Oh, yeah,
I didn't think about
yeah.
it during the movie, but
during the movie, I was like, oh, it's blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I didn't want to call their name out on the
yeah.
podcast because that feels like a bit too much. Do you feel like they set her up enough as her own character?
I thought so.
I do not think that they set her up as anything but an abuse victim.
Oh, fine. Yes. I was going to say, I thought like a moment that really stuck out to me is her showing up in the sweatpants to the funeral, where it's this weird mix of like grief and relief that she has, which I think is a very real thing when your abuser were to die, because obviously we know there is like a lot of mental turmoil that would happen in that case. And like, that's why it's hard for people to leave. Mm-hmm. So I did feel like I saw enough of her there. However, I'm going to argue that any movie that has someone that is now recovering from a domestic abuse situation, it kind of makes sense that they're not a lot of themselves outside of their abuse, because that's also kind of what happens in real life, is they kind of become only that victim because of the situation they're put in. And it would take growing away from that to like kind of find themselves again. Not saying that always happens, but I think that that's like a fair take.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but like everyone is always always their own individual outside of all of those things. And I think sometimes we can get bogged down in it and like forget who we are because of the abuse that we're experiencing. But I don't.
Or you become the person that the abuser wants you to be, and you're not your own. My point is, in the abuse, you're not always your own person.
I understand what you're saying, but I also don't like that this is such a trend where like that is all the person is.
Agreed.
I mean, we talked about that with the Invisible Man. I feel like that's all she is too.
Hey, you know what show does a really good job of characters being their own person outside of their abuse?
What show?
Our show that we're watching on our other channel, Welcome to Twin Peaks,
What a shock.
has multiple people in abusive situations that are characters outside of it.
I would have never guessed that you would bring up another piece of David Lynch media.
Well, and also a show we have a podcast on, so
yeah, I know.
Go listen to Welcome to Twin
nudge.
Peaks if you like Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
That's our show. But like Shelley being a good example.
I knew exactly where your mind was at. Okay.
Or even Josie.
I'm trying to think of another complaint I've seen people have. Do you like the Deadites in this movie? Because they are a little different than in some of the other movies, I feel like.
I think they're fine. A little boring, maybe. I don't think they're like that interesting, other than Thea, who definitely, I was saying, kind of goes with the like weird sexual horror elements of it, which I really liked. Mm-hmm. I think for the most part, they're fine. Dad making out with the mom while she's not a Deadite was kind of awesome. That was like a moment where I was like, this is crazy. I like that we're going a new route.
I felt so violated with that.
No, it was definitely the point.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I would say that's one.
Yeah. I liked Thea. I liked that she goes right in on her partner.
Just leaving her. Yeah, that was also a great moment to realize, the brother's shitty too, because you didn't really know.
Immediately I was like, oh my God, he's going to leave her. And then when he does, I was like, sir!
He's like a different kind of bad partner.
He's pathetic.
Yeah.
And he's
not like physically abusive, but clearly is just like doesn't have her back.
He abandons his partner to save his own ass.
Yeah. Although I don't know what I'd be doing in this situation.
Well,
we haven't done that bit in a while, by the way.
I know. I was wondering if we should do it for this, but like given the movies about abusive relationships, I felt awkward. But we can.
Sure.
Because it would be probably the car scene is probably where we'd be referring to in this. Mm-hmm. So I'll put that in later.
Okay, I like it.
Okay, so let me see. Yeah, I hated him, so I was really glad that it was her that came back that went after him. I thought that was really cool. And I also liked Dad making out with Mom, and I thought Dad was really scary. But I think he was scary before he turned into a Deadite, so that doesn't really have anything to do with it.
I'm going to say, and I agree, I kind of like Dad still anyway, prior. This movie does a good job of making the characters you don't really know how bad they are initially.
Yeah.
So it makes you kind of care about them for then it to be switched, where like,
this movie is kind of bait and switching you because you think some of these people are like nice people,
Yes.
and then they're like, oh, they're actually
Thea
a piece
is
of
nice,
shit.
and so you're rooting for her. You're kind of rooting for the boyfriend until you're like, ooh, that was shitty. But then you're like, well, he's not a real abuser. He's just kind of shitty.
Even in the first scene, you can't tell how bad Mom is because Alice is saying like she hates me, and they're like, no, she doesn't. And then immediately Mom is
And
like,
also-
hey, sweetie, and like gives her a pair of shoes. So you're like, oh,
Yes.
maybe she's not a piece of shit.
I will also say, and you know, it's not my place because it's her husband that died. I think I'd also be a little frustrated someone showing up in sweatpants to the funeral, basically.
Yeah.
But also, in my head at the time, I was internally debating. I was like, yeah, but she's also like the grieving wife. She can do whatever the fuck she wants.
That was also my logic.
But I still would be a little annoyed.
I would be too.
I got mad at when your cousin changed in between the funeral and the what's it called? The dinner after the funeral.
for his own mother.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
My family is crazy.
So
That's better than the other cousin who showed up to the other cousin's kid's funeral in a t-shirt and jeans and
all right.
drunk.
I don't need to know all that.
Wow.
Don't trauma dump on the people of TikTok in our podcast.
Yeah, sorry. My family's fucked up. Okay.
Anyway, yeah.
What I actually thought of was our one friend showing up to our wedding in sweatpants.
No, those weren't sweatpants. They were slacks.
Oh, bro. He was in
were
a
slacks.
sweatshirt and
The
sweatpants.
sweatshirt he was in. They were slacks though.
He looked like shit.
Okay. Go ahead.
I hope you're listening. Okay. How do you feel about them killing the dog?
I don't have that much of opinion. It really fouls me out.
Do you
but
think
also,
it was
like, that's kind of
too
the
fucked
point.
up? And
It was
do you
really
think
fucked
it had
up.
a payoff that was worth
I think it's
it?
fine because the dog comes back as a Deadite, which is interesting. However, it was pretty violent in a way that feels a little too real. But it's weird because like I'm not upset when there's violence against people, but I think it's because I don't know. Our brains are so fucked up.
The dog, he doesn't know better.
Yeah. And like the dog was also trying to protect them.
That's what was so fucked up. The dog was like, this
I'm
guy's
not
a
going to
Deadite.
complain though. There's plenty of movies where the dog dies. I don't like seeing it in graphic detail. And I don't know why. Like, I'm okay seeing a person getting killed in graphic detail because I know it's not happening. But with a dog, I just like imagine my own dog. But again, I'm not gonna be one of those
They
people
also
that's like, you can't do this.
didn't graphically show it. Once he starts doing it, it's not graphic anymore. But also, I think it was scarier that it was building up to him doing it. I could have done without him actually succeeding in doing it.
Yeah, I get that. I struggle with animals too sometimes. Like in like Sandy in Obsession, Bear's cat. Like that really
that
hurts me a lot. And then like what ends up happening later. You know what? That may be, you know how I'm like, I like the movie, but I don't love it as everyone else. I think that might be the thing holding me back is like,
it's the dead cat.
I get like the eating the dead cat part.
Yeah, that was fucked
I
up.
think it like really bothers me.
I know.
And I know it's there and I think it's like a good thing to have there, but I think it like makes it hard for me to enjoy the film, which is maybe stupid. So I don't know.
Yeah, but you're allowed to have your feelings. It's fine.
Yeah. Usually I'm not such a coward about it.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important for the movie. It just like makes me like, ugh. It's like so foul. I think it's the eating the cat is what really.
What's the verdict?
On what?
Cat.
Oh, what's the verdict? Sorry, I'm stupid. All right.
Okay. So I did also want to discuss what do you think was the grossest like act of violence or
The dog getting killed.
I said grossest.
Honestly, that was like one of the most violent to me.
Okay, let's take away the dog. I meant with people.
I don't know. Name a couple, and then I gotta think about it.
The car headrest.
Fine.
Drinking the candle wax, more self-harmy.
Oh, that was a good one. I liked that.
I liked that.
Yeah.
The dishwasher, her pushing him on the dishwasher, and then also him bashing in her face with the dishwasher.
I feel like the dishwasher was definitely one that made me look away for a little because I thought he was totally going to die from it.
I thought it would be more violent. Yeah.
Yeah. There's got to be another one. Oh, the ear.
Stabbing
the ear is,
with the pen.
That's easily the one that freaked me out the most, especially with like the sounds that were played along with it and how long it took her to get it out and how it definitely like ruptured her
That
eardrum.
one's so fucked up. Yeah.
That was definitely the worst one for me. That's the one I feel the most. It's kind of like eye stuff in movies.
Yeah.
I think we're really sensitive about our teeth, our ears, and our eyes. So mouth, ears, and eyes. So when things happen, orifices, yeah, our buttholes as well.
Sure, I'm sure we would be.
That's why the angry molesting trees are so scary.
Oh, because it's being stuck in you and in one of your holes.
Anyway, I was just saying eyes really bother me. Like, I feel like when I see certain eye things happen, my eyes begin to water. I have like a reaction.
I can't look at eye things.
Yeah. I'm just saying like I actually have a physical reaction to it to the point where my eyes will water to like try to clear themselves even though there's nothing in it, which is kind of interesting.
I like it.
As someone who wears contacts. And
it is interesting as someone who wears contacts because you like touch your own eyeball.
Yeah, I think that makes it worse. And I feel like with the ear thing, I can almost like feel it. And especially when they played the sound with it, it feels like it feels like a 4D experience. So like the eardrum being exploded.
Yeah. I think also the demon makeout with like the black
that
ooze.
was that was funny to me.
It was funny, but it was
that.
so gross. I was gagging.
I thought that was a cool thing that I've never really seen someone fully fall for a Deadite's like line before.
Well, I think it's because mom's that big of a piece of shit,
and she's trying to protect her son. We
and
want
I
to be
do
a family
think it's
again.
interesting because they do leave it pretty ambiguous, like when she actually legit is a Deadite, because she kind of sucks to begin with.
Can I say not the makeout part, but the falling for their trap would have been really interesting in Rise. To have like one of the children be like, I am going to join you, mommy. We can be a family again. Like the youngest, even though the youngest survives. And like the youngest turning on them without being a Deadite would have been kind of cool. Would have been kind of sick. Just a thought. But,
especially because children are so easily manipulated.
Yes, exactly. Like I think that's a little more.
Mommy.
I think that's a little more interesting than mommy being manipulated by a husband and then making out with him and going, "You haven't kissed me like that in years."
Oh, that was stupid, that line, but that's okay. I think the headrest is the one that emotionally fucked me up the most, but that's because like I knew what was going to happen in the car and I was freaking out. Before it like got close to happening, I was like, oh god, I know what they're doing. And also I didn't like when she like pulls it out. I think that gave me like such an ick. So that one bothered me. And do you think that any of those things is worse than the cheese grater?
I think the ears were. I don't think the cheese grater is that bad. You know, my favorite is the box cutter tongue.
I know, but we're comparing this directly to Rise because I feel like...
Fine. No, none of... the cheese grater's... The cheese grater's not that bad. I think that the ear pen is way worse than the cheese grater.
I think that's worse. I think the headrest is worse.
The knives even might be worse than the dishwasher. That one just I can feel that one. It's weird.
Yeah. I feel that. I think that... 2013 knocks all of these things out of the water there.
Someone on our TikTok live said the electric saw to the bicep. I agree. Like the woman cutting her arm off.
Slops off.
Yeah, that is incredible. And also does a good job of like hiding it until it doesn't, which I like.
So gross. It
feels very real, although electric saw through the bone might be tough. And also the cheese grater is just... Not cheese grater, excuse me. The box cutter is just incredible. The box cutter is incredible because it's the Deadite doing it to themselves so they're not in pain and you just are forced to watch it. And it's gross.
Okay, if we're going to compare Mia to mommy to abuser, burned man.
Mia number 1, mommy number 2, abuser, burned man number 3. I don't even remember his name.
You mean either abuser burned man is an easy last
I know
place.
people love mommy. Mia is so much scarier because she's a reflection of herself.
Thematically, I think it's way scarier.
And then also when she literally becomes like a twin of herself with the abomination looking like her and she kills that part of herself, goes insane. And also is maybe a throwback to Army of Darkness.
Ooh, yeah.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
I just love Mia as a character. I love Mia as a Deadite. Easily my favorite Deadite of all time.
Yeah, I loved Mia, but I think that movie just like works so well thematically.
It works so well on all levels.
I loved it, but I do think Alyssa Sutherland as Mommy's with the maggots now.
It's a great performance.
Really, really good.
I don't like her voice as much as Mia's though.
Correct. I feel the same way. Mia's my girl, and that's that. Should we talk about what this movie means?
We've kind of hit it a little bit, but if you've got more to add, yeah.
I mean, thematically, it's wearing its heart on its sleeve.
Yeah, it's about abuse. It's about an abusive relationship and her getting out of it. And also a family protecting an abuser.
I think it's very much about how a family, or I can relate to friends, can stand by abusive behavior and let like poor behavior and abuse slide to support the ones they love. But then you're also hurting other people in the process. So is it worth it, guys? So I the whole time I was wondering how much Mom knew about her abusive son.
It seemed like a lot. And
then they reveal that she did know about that he literally burned her. And that she has literal scars on her abdomen from it. And Mom's just like, you know that's not what happened. You know it was an accident. And it's like, no, bitch, you know it wasn't. So
and in this, it's kind of her overcoming that trauma and also then killing the abuser and the people who protect the abuser.
I liked that the form of physical abuse that she suffered was a burn, and then she lights the house on fire. I like how that kind of comes together, even if it's pretty on the nose. And him getting
burned alive.
Yeah. He deserved to be burned alive.
God, that intro is so good.
The intro is so fun.
Like, up until the point where he gets burned, and, like, the Jessica is there doing the reading off the, not the script, but the Latin. And then, boom, blows him up, and then you get the title. I was like, I love this shit. Jessica. And then after that, it was kind of downhill. The movie's still good. I just think it's, like, that's the best part.
Yeah.
That intro. So.
Yeah, I feel like I thought so much about, like, our personal friendship that we had with somebody where we were friends with a couple and we were closer with the girl than the guy who would tell us abusive things that he did. And then we started, like, physically seeing it and talking with our other friends about, like, how do we intervene here? And all of those people, half of those people were unwilling to intervene in any like consequential way, and so half of us stopped being friends with the abuser and the other half are just still friends with him and like in each other's weddings and like yada yada. And we were pushed out of her life because
we called it as we saw it.
Called it out. And so it like I was thinking this whole movie like, I'm glad we handled it how we did because I don't want to sit there and be this fucking cunt ass mom.
Yeah. Careful with the C word.
Family members. Yeah, I
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Yeah, it was so like frustrating.
And there's just a lot. I think the abusers actually portrayed, and I was going to say well's not the right word, but correct to how abusers actually act. Like him seeming all nice, acting nice, buying the big gift for the brother probably as a way to like emotionally manipulate him as well.
And that's this person financially manipulated people around them. So it felt very on brand.
Yes.
Yeah. I also loved that the brother completely abandons his own partner to save his own ass. And then I thought it was so funny that the Deadite girlfriend quite literally calls him out on it. At first I was like, is that too on the nose, like that you're verbalizing it?
It should be, but it's funny.
But then it was so funny, and also I do fear that people might have like not comprehended what she's saying. So I'm kind of glad she said it, because she basically says like, you had trouble shooting your dad, who's very clearly an evil Deadite, and like you had trouble protecting me, but you're so immediately able to turn on me. That's cute. And I was like, yes, queen, slay, kill him. Speaking of them, I guess this is our moment to do our horror relationship test. So we're in a car with a family member who turns into a Deadite.
He had a chance to save her, and he didn't. If I have the chance to save you, I'm going to do it. If I don't have the chance, better luck. See ya.
But I guess he could argue that he didn't.
I saw him have a chance. If I have a chance... I mean,
he just stands there.
If I have a chance, I'm going to save you. I'm going to at least try, you know. I think he had plenty of chances.
I worry that if it were your mommy who's the Deadite trying to kill me...
Oh, that would be tough. No, I think I could... Sorry, Mom. I think I could pull the trigger if I had to.
Kate, you heard him. You heard it here first.
Yeah, I mean, she watched The Evil Dead with us. She knows.
I think it's funny that your mom's going to listen to this. But yeah, I guess that's the best comparison point, right?
Yeah, when
Is
are
like
you
a
going to save
direct
me?
parent.
You're going to fucking run. Actually, you just would. They would catch you. Yeah, they'd catch
No, they
you.
would catch me pretty easily.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
So there's no point in you running.
but I would try.
I could get away. That's the thing. I'll get
and
help.
save
I'll go
you.
get help.
No, fuck you. No, you wouldn't. It would happen too fast. I would have a headrest right through my fucking face.
I
if
think
you tried
there
to
was
run.
plenty of chances to save you. So,
We're not
I think
splitting
I could.
up. We're staying together until one of us gets absolutely wrecked, and then the other
Here's
can
my
run
thing.
away.
In all my nightmares that are horror movies, do you know how I get away from them?
What?
I literally just run away. I'm in a scary house. I go out the front door. I literally find my
That's not
sneakers. I
realistic.
find my running shoes. I go out the front door and I just sprint a mile.
I can't run.
Well, that's what I'm just saying. In my dreams, that's what I do.
Well, I don't think that's
My
realistic.
nightmares. Why not?
If
If Michael Myers was coming to my house, I would literally just get out.
We should do the test thing with keys on a door.
No, I'm not going anywhere I need keys. I'm going out the front door.
No, but I'm saying you've seen that social media trend,
know.
right? I
Yes.
think we should do that. It would be funny because I would.
I'm
just
not
fumble
locking
so
myself
bad.
in anywhere though. Like you're not safe in your house. You should just run. Just keep going. Go to the next town. Literally run down the highway. That's my plan.
I'm dead.
Yeah. Again, and I'm always in my old house when I have these nightmares, and I just run down to the Plexus
Interesting.
house. I run down the street.
That's not far enough.
No
way.
If they don't, usually I do it where they don't realize I've left. I sneak out.
Sure, yeah, all of this is super plausible for Evil
Just
Dead
run.
Burn, where Dad tries to kill them in a car.
Okay.
Okay.
But I think we've hit the themes mostly. It really is about that. What I think is interesting, and I have to keep comparing to 2013, is in 2013, the character going through the trauma is the one that is turned into a Deadite and then eventually is brought out of that state. In Rise and in Burn, two different things happen. One, in Rise, the mother who is sort of going through like a traumatic event with like family.
Kinda.
Well, she's like got a broken family. She has her kids and is trying to take care of them. Gets turned and then basically remains evil. Never is able to turn back. So I don't really know what it's trying to say about family.
No.
And in Burn, it's a different situation where the abuser turns and the woman who is going through the trauma never turns and just fights it off.
Yeah.
And I do think of the three, the most successful is the one with me, obviously.
Well, because she's fighting her own
demons,
inner
yes.
demons
And I don't think
out of like substance use.
Yes, and I just don't think you can replicate that again.
Yeah, but I think this one thematically is doing the second best of the franchise. Because what is like 1, 2, and 3 saying? As much as like I loved 2 of those.
I'm not trying to say anything.
Exactly. And
That's a
this
new
one
thing.
is, which
Yeah.
I like.
I do like that.
You know how I feel about my movie saying something, so.
Sure.
Okay. Any hot takes about this movie?
I think it would be hard to have a hot take about it. I think I'm in agreement with most of the general public on this one, that it's just fine.
My hot take is this guy has more sauce than Lee Cronin as a writer-director.
I totally agree with that, so that's my hot take too.
Also...
I think Lee Cronin's not a very good writer or director.
Yeah, I think he's a worse writer. I'd like to see him direct... I've said it so many times. I mean, I said it in our episode last week. I want to see him direct something that he did not write.
Yeah.
I also think that we need to start putting more blame on Sam Raimi for not providing more guidance to the directors in stories to
Kinda what I was
connect
saying.
if they want them to be... If you want them to be connected, you have to provide guidance to make them connected. And if we don't care, this is what we're going to keep getting, and we just have to be okay with that. But
I
you
wanna
can't
write-
now try and do both, in my opinion.
I want to write an Evil Dead sequel. But I recently learned, well, one, Bruce Campbell's sick, so he's probably not going to come back.
Yeah.
And I had saw a clip recently, and had never seen it. And he said that he would rather work with the nightmare of Sam Raimi any day than work for a studio. And basically, one of his best friends openly on an interview was like, he's horrible to work with. He's the worst. I've gotten beat up from these movies. And I would still rather work with him than ever bow down to a studio, which makes so much more sense why he never became a leading man, because he had the ability to be one.
Well, he's hot like a leading man. Look at that jawline, bro. Ooh.
You know who would be the actual successor to Bruce Campbell in my mind?
Who?
This is going to sound crazy. It's Channing Tatum. Very similar physical comedy, very similar presence.
See it. Channing Tatum can fucking act.
And I feel like we haven't seen him do much in a while, and I feel like they need to give...
I watched Roofman, and he was great.
He's good. I find that he's like the new Bruce Campbell. Or is the closest.
I like that. That's a good take, man.
It's the physical. That's my hot take. Channing Tatum's the new Bruce Campbell. It's the physicality.
My hot take about Channing Tatum is I think he'll be nominated for an Oscar in the next decade.
Okay. I like that. I had a hot take about that recently. Oh, it was about Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen.
Yeah,
you
my
said
hot take.
win.
I said he's going to win an Oscar in the next decade.
I
said an acting Oscar specifically.
Yeah, you really getting bold.
That's what a hot take is, Hannah.
Yeah.
All right, you know what? I like that hot take. Channing Tatum, come do an Evil Dead movie. The issue right now is his face is too recognizable. He needs to well, he is doing less right now. He's got this leading man face. What he's
doing isn't saturating the market.
Yes, which is good.
Actors.
I always just think about 22 Jump Street and the physical comedy.
They're doing it 24, so he's coming back.
Let's go. They're calling it 24.
They're skipping 20.
I'm
really pretty sure they're skipping 23 because it's been so long. Which is hilarious.
Funny.
Okay, so I'm going to read what our followers commented as their Evil Dead movie ranking.
Yep.
Ready? Some of these you're going to love, and some of them you're going to be like...
I'm not, to be honest, I've already said to you, I think it's hard to get mad at anybody's ranking because all of them are pretty quality.
Some of these are so similar. Okay, the first two commenters had the exact same ranking.
Okay.
Skipper Scream Podcast and Cinema's Charm. Hi, Taryn. Said Evil Dead 2013.
Is another number one.
Evil Dead 2.
Yep.
Evil Dead Rise. The Evil Dead. And Army of Darkness.
Army of Darkness Last is very interesting because some people say that's a perfect film. And
Taryn says, I still love this one though.
Okay.
Red Treehouse Pod, hi Will, said maybe / definitely controversial. Number 1, Evil Dead 2013. Number 2, Evil Dead 2. Number 3, The Evil Dead. Number 4, Evil Dead Rise. And number 5, Army of Darkness.
This is
only
Army of Darkness
swapped.
Being at the bottom, I think, is uncommon for the general population.
It's going to keep going. Ready?
Weird.
Horror Movie Stew said 2013 original Rise 2 Army of Darkness.
It's because these are all horror people, so they don't like when the movies get too silly, I think. I feel like among the general film population that loves Evil Dead, they have Army of Darkness way higher.
Okay, this is a film person, not a horror person. Film Podcast said, to be honest, I love them all, but from best to worst, from best to least best, they said Evil Dead 2, 2013, The Evil Dead, Rise, and then Army of Darkness.
Whoa, okay.
And then finally, someone who doesn't have Army of Darkness last. MSFC97 says Evil Dead 2, which I thought would be first in more rankings. Army of Darkness, Evil Dead 1, Evil Dead 2013, and then Evil Dead Rise.
I am pretty shook by Army of Darkness being last, mostly because I listened to a podcast years ago where they did a perfect films bracket.
And it was on there.
And Army of Darkness was on perfect films. You know what else was? The Devil Wears Prada.
Inc. No.
The Devil Wears Prada, which I agree is a perfect film.
It's a perfect film.
Superbad's also a perfect film.
Okay, Matt.
I think Superbad was on it too, actually.
As it should.
Okay. Do you want my ranking?
Yes. What is your Evil Dead ranking from worst to best?
Worst, Evil Dead Rise. By far for me. Second worst, Evil Dead Burn, which we just saw. Then I have Army of Darkness.
Okay.
Evil Dead 2. The Evil Dead. And then my favorite is Evil Dead 2013, which is funny because Evil Dead 2013 does not work without there being 1, 2, and Army of Darkness. However, I think Evil Dead 2013 is kind of a perfect film. And I also feel crazy having The Evil Dead over 2. However, I found that the technical side of Evil Dead 1 was so mind-blowing to me.
Yeah,
and the simplicity of it that I had so much fun watching it. And while I do have a lot of fun with 2, I have much more fun out of what they were able to achieve with 1 than I do with all the silliness of 2, even though I still have it. And I would say, I think Rise, I gave a 2.5 out of 5.
I also did.
And Burn, I gave a 3 out of 5. Spoilers. So everything else above is above a 3. I think the rest of them were 4s or higher. So.
Okay. My ranking, 4 and 5 are probably interchangeable. And
you can't say 4 or 5.
What? I said 4 and 5 are interchangeable, probably. And so are 2 and 3.
I thought you meant movies 4 and 5. And I was like, that's confusing. I understand now. Go ahead. All right, just give it to us.
Okay, so my issue is I'm in my ranking, am I rewarding what I think is a a more impressive filmmaking, or did I have more fun?
I have sometimes impressive filmmaking achieves more fun for me. So
But that's not with where I'm at.
okay, well then go with what you think is the best movie.
I don't know what that is. Just tell me, more fun or better made?
More fun.
Okay, more fun. My ranking is in last, Evil Dead Rise.
So you and I both had Rise in last. We do not like Rise. This is an anti-Rise household.
Listen to last week's episode with Seth,
Yeah.
who did like Rise. Okay, number 5. This is where everyone's going to kill me. Evil Dead 2.
Whoa. That is pretty crazy.
Okay, number 4, Evil Dead Burn.
2 below Burn feels wild to me. But
Okay, that's because I was not having fun at all with 2. I was like, shut the fuck up. But also I think it's really impressive filmmaking for the time. So like, yeah, Burn's probably 5 and 2's probably 4. But like, I have more fun with Burn.
Okay.
And yeah, it is what it is. Number 3, The Evil Dead. Number 2, Army of Darkness.
Whoa, I'm actually shocked by that. You really liked Army of Darkness.
And number 1, Evil Dead 2013.
All right, we're on the same page. Hell yeah. That movie's so good.
Army of Darkness immediately just like got me when all of these old-timey knights were hitting a car with swords because they didn't know what a car was.
Army of
And
Darkness is really good.
that's my sense of humor to a T. And so I just think Army of Darkness, the sense of humor in that and 2 felt oddly different to me in a way where I feel like Army of Darkness, the jokes were in like the writing versus in Evil Dead 2, the jokes were in like the physicality and the filmmaking.
I mean, there's like Three Stooges shit in Army of Darkness.
And I found Army of Darkness, the way it's that sense of humor just hit better for me. And so 2, I found like grating on my fucking nerves. And Army of Darkness, I was like, hee, hit the car again.
Like, yeah, I get it.
And Bruce Campbell's such a fucking dickbag in it. It's so funny.
Prior to this rewatch, I would have had 2 over 1, and then Army of Darkness still in third of those 3. I think I still would have had 2013 in first, but I was afraid to say it for so long, and now I'm
that's
comfortable
okay.
with it. But there are just some magical moments in 2. Like the part where he's just going insane in the house is incredible. Well, the part where he cuts his hand off, great. Part where he's going insane in the house and all the furniture starts laughing at him.
Away, I like don't care, and the furniture laughing at him.
The furniture laughing at him is so good.
But I don't think it's funny or interesting.
And then I also like lose my shit with the ending when he kills the Deadite and everyone starts hailing him and he's going, no,
okay,
no,
that part's so
and they're all,
funny.
and then that fists come in front and it goes to black. I love that.
That part's funny, but it's basically Army of Darkness. So
I know.
okay, this or that of second features from newer directors.
Okay.
Okay, because Evil Dead Rise was Lee Cronin's second film, and this was Sebastian Vanacek's second film.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, ready? Oddity from Damien McCarthy or Evil Dead Burn.
Oddity.
Bone Tomahawk, the second film written by Craig Zahler, or Evil Dead Burn.
Bone Tomahawk. And Bone Tomahawk's really good until the third act. I think the third act sucks, but everything prior is great.
The Night House from David Bruckner, or Evil Dead Burn.
Tie?
That's where my brain was. Okay.
I never picked a tie before, but I kind of forgot both of them already.
Bring Her Back from the Philip
Bring Her Back.
Brothers.
Not even close.
Okay. Smile 2 from Parker Finn.
Smile too.
Megan from Gerald Johnstone.
Evil Dead Burn.
Yeah. Don't Breathe from Fede Alvarez.
Don't Breathe rocks. So Don't Breathe. I didn't realize that was him.
Yep.
It's a scary movie. It's really fucked up.
Ready or Not from directors Matt Bettolini Olpin and Tyler Gillette.
This feels like another tie to me.
Okay.
I'm giving it a tie. I never give ties.
Wreck from Paco
Wreck.
Plaza.
Dude, Wreck is like maybe the best movie on this list.
And It, Part 1 from Andy Muschietti.
It Part 1 was electric when we first saw it. It probably still is.
Okay.
It Part 2 is a steaming pile of dog shit.
Okay, I'm going to add one for myself that
Okay.
I've seen and you haven't, and then I removed Don't Breathe because I haven't seen it.
You've never seen Don't Breathe?
No.
You should watch it since you like Evil Dead 2013.
You
I don't want to cover it.
don't have to read the directors, just read the film names until you get to the one that we didn't say for you.
Oddity or Evil Dead Burn?
Oddity.
Bone Tomahawk or Evil Dead Burn?
I was kind of in and out for that one, so I'll just go Burn.
The Night House or Evil Dead Burn?
Tie.
Bring Her Back or Evil Dead Burn? Smile 2.
Smile 2.
Megan.
Evil Dead Burn.
May Threegan. The Nightingale from Jennifer Kent or Evil Dead Burn?
Probably The Nightingale.
Ooh. Ready or Not or Evil Dead Burn?
Okay, look. This one is stupid because Evil Dead Burn, it copies Ready or Not's ending, and Ready or Not did it better. So I'm going to say Ready or Not.
Okay. Wreck or Evil Dead Burn?
But otherwise, maybe Burn. Wreck.
Wreck is just the best. It or Evil Dead Burn?
I have no recollection of this movie whatsoever.
We saw it in theaters and it
That's
was pee-pants scary the first time
only
we saw it.
time I've ever seen it.
Oh.
So, don't
No,
recall.
I'm going to do it. Okay. I'm just thinking about Wreck now and how we've never covered it on the pod because we did like a movie recommend day when
No, we
that.
covered
Oh, we
Wreck
did cover
on
it?
the pod. Yep.
Oh, yeah, we did. Mm-hmm. Wow. Can we do it again? So
It's such a good fucking
It's a
movie.
really good
so
movie.
good. So good. Okay.
It has no right being as good as it is.
Let's
Mom,
rate
watch
this.
Wreck if you haven't seen it. It's in Spanish, though, so you have to deal with subtitles.
She doesn't know how to read, so she won't watch
Don't
it.
say that. She can read. She doesn't like subtitles.
No, I buy her books all the time.
Yeah.
That's like what our thing
I just
is.
would be interested to see her opinion on it. So
She just can't read when a movie's on. There's too much pressure.
I get it. I don't like doing it either. Unless it's in a different language, which Wreck is, so.
She still wouldn't watch it. I was
let's rate this
describing how
thing.
much I love Sentimental Value the other day, and I was like, sorry, you won't watch it. But you should. Kate, we love you. Okay. Rating scale.
I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10.
I'm going to give it a 6.8.
Okay. I think that's reasonable. Dalton endorsement.
2 out of 5.
For an Evil Dead scale, it's like a 0 for me.
But
like
it's
I'm just
on
gonna
a movie scale.
I'm giving it a 0 anyway. I feel pretty indifferent about this film. I like it.
Tough.
Rise would probably be. I don't even know what I give. You know, fine. I give it a +1. I changed my mind.
I think with Rise,
I think I gave Rise a +1,
like
which doesn't make any
2.
sense. You know what? I think it's just because we
You give
rewatched.
whatever you're giving Rise, probably.
Yeah, I think it's because we rewatched all the other ones, and I was just like, damn, just watch 1 through 4. They're so good, and they're all so different from each other.
I would give... Okay, I don't remember what I gave Rise on the Dalton endorsement scale.
I think you gave it a +1.
So yeah, then I would give this a +2.
Okay.
For the folks at home, that's a -5 to 5 scale, where our scores reflect our enjoyment and recommendation of the film. 0 is neutral. So Matt is neutral / mildly positive.
I just saw the title, or sorry, the poster that's behind us on TikTok Live. Every family has its demons.
It's so funny.
That's funny.
I like it. Yeah. I picked that because I like it.
Well, do we have anything else we need to talk about?
No.
You want to wrap it up?
Yeah, it's...
All right. This has
Talked
been
enough.
This has been Evil Dead Burn. I've been Matt Hanna,
I'm Hannah.
and this is Horror of the Hannahs. Stay tuned
And stay with the maggots now. Is that the Babadook? That's the Babadook.
That's pretty good, right?
Thank you for listening to Horror Hour with the Hannahs. Make sure to listen to future episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or wherever else you can find podcasts. You can also find us on YouTube, where we post episodes and shorts. You can follow us at Horror Hour with the Hannahs on TikTok and Instagram, as well as at Horror Hour on Blue Sky for more content. If you like the podcast, please follow and leave a review on your favorite podcasting app. Happy hauntings!